I had the biggest shock of my life. It felt literally like my heart stopped beating for a few moments. May ganun pala talaga. I have had sleepless nights and an upset stomach due to the overwhelming stress. I cannot bear the embarrassment and humiliation.
Lago pa sa K-drama.
Hello, mayong hapon. Mayong hapon sa tanan. Salamat kaayo sa inyong pag-anhi. Minom kog tubig kadali. Okay. Okay na ta, Randy? First and foremost, daghang salamat sa tanan nga nag-anhi karon sa atong press conference. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending this press conference. Gi-English po na ko. Perhaps, this is the first time in the history of the Philippines wherein a cabinet position that is not vacant and already occupied was assigned to yet another person. This resulted in 2 appointees for only 1 position. In this situation, I was appointed by former President Rodrigo Duterte as chairperson of the Mindanao Development Authority on January 13, 2022. I took my oath of office before Judge Janice Celestial on January 17, 2022. However, on May 13, 2024, Secretary Leo Magno, who is already holding the position of Presidential Assistant for Eastern Mindanao, was appointed by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to the same position that I currently hold. He eventually took his oath of office before Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin on May 21, 2024. Honestly, I had the biggest shock of my life. It felt literally like my heart stopped beating for a few moments. May ganun pala talaga. I have had sleepless nights and an upset stomach due to the overwhelming stress. I cannot bear the embarrassment and humiliation. I could not fathom why there is another appointment for the same post that I am currently holding. I asked myself, what did I do wrong? What did I do to deserve such disrespect? I do not recall having done anything wrong in the conduct of my duties. Prior to Leo Magno's appointment, I have not received any formal communication from Malacanang. I have no quarrel with the stand of the other camp that the President has the authority to appoint because that is correct. There is no question on the matter. But regarding term of office and removal, we go back to the point that there is such a thing as Republic Act 9996 or the Mindanao Development Authority Act of 2010, Section 7, which explicitly states that the chairperson shall serve a term of 6 years from the date of his or her appointment unless removed for cause. I do not have any pending civil, administrative, or criminal case before the proper courts. I am also not convicted of any crime. Simply said, there is no prerequisite cause. I have not received even a single memo from Malacanang about any misconduct. The post is also not a position of trust, in the sense that I do not keep confidential information to warrant such. My mandate, as stated in RA 9996, Section 3, clearly says to promote, coordinate, and facilitate the active and extensive participation of all sectors to effect the socio-economic development of Mindanao, which I have done diligently to the best of my ability. My presence in Malacanang are only for special meetings wherein I represent Minda. I was never even called to a single regular cabinet meeting, but I regularly attend the NEDA board meetings because I am an ex-officio member. It is because of my post as Minda Chair. The continuity and stability of the integrated development of Mindanao is vital. That is why, from the Executive Order 512 series of 1992 establishing MEDCO, or Mindanao Economic Development Council, it has evolved into Republic Act 9996, creating the Mindanao Development Authority. Mahirap kasi pag executive order lang, so they made it into a Republic Act para magkaroon ng stability and continuity. This was because the legal luminaries of both lower and upper houses of Congress understood the clamor of Mindanaoans to finally be acknowledged in our national affairs. In Section 2 of RA 9996, these valiant lawmakers specifically constructed the words. Ito po yung policy. It is hereby declared a policy of the state to accelerate the socio-economic growth of Mindanao, increase its trade, tourism, and investments, encourage private enterprise, and advancing efforts towards peace and development. Towards this end, an effective institutional mechanism shall be established to address the need for coordinated and integrated approach in the formulation and implementation of various Minda-wide or Mindanao-wide interregional development plans, programs, and projects. The office was institutionalized precisely to shield Minda from arbitrary movements and political whims, thus promoting consistency, regularity, sustainability. To reiterate the term of the chairperson of Minda, in black and white, shall serve a term of 6 years from the date of his/her appointment unless removed for cause. Nakalagay po yan sa batas. What is happening now is a direct attack on my dignity as a person and as a public servant. I have dedicated 20 of the best years of my life to public service. For about 18 years, I have served Davao City as an elected councilor. For 2 years, 4 months, and up to this point, as the incumbent chairperson of Minda. In the past, I have also served as a broadcast journalist for ABS-CBN Davao, as a teacher of San Sebastian College, San Pedro College, Ateneo de Davao University, and as a senior lecturer on local governance course at the School of Management at the University of the Philippines, Mindanao. I have received recognition as a public servant during my time as a Davao City Councilor in 2008, as a TESDA Kabalikat Awardee in 2009, as one of the 10 outstanding councilors in the Philippines, which was established by JCI Philippines and the late Senator Edgardo Angara. I was an alumni of the U.S. State Department's International Visitor Leadership Program on Good Governance and Transparency. I was a champion of the Kaya Natin movement for good governance and ethical leadership. I was a national leader of the SHIP for Southeast Asian Youth Program in 2012. Likewise, I am one of the first of a few elected officials to be a career executive service eligible. Alam niyo po, hindi required sa mga elected officials na magkaroon ng CES or CES, CESE or CESO. Kasi political kasi. Pero kumuha po ako ng CES eligibility because I wanted to give the best to my constituents at may further growth in the career. In 2019, in fact, I received the Career Executive Service Very Innovative Person Award from the Career Executive Service Board. To say that I feel so offended and so oppressed is an understatement.